Hello, honey roses. Welcome to Milk Honey Rose. Thank you for being here. Let me turn down the meditation music. It might be a little too loud. I don't want to amp it up like that, you know. Let's relax a little bit, right? So yeah, if you would like to book a coaching call or a reading with me, you can. Just visit www.milkhoneyrose.org. And also, if you would like to purchase any of my books, you can. They'll be linked to the bottom of this video. Okay, so I was getting a download before this recording began, and it was like someone thought that they had a hold on you, but now their hands are tied. So someone thought they had a hold on you. Let me scan this real quick and see what Spirit is talking about. It's almost like someone, it feels a little like love bombing. I just heard love bomb. So it feels like someone love bombed you. Okay, this very well could have happened. And you may have been taken aback. I just feel like many of you just enjoy love. So when you feel love, you don't want to reject it. It's just the intentions that you don't know initially. You don't always know the intentions in the beginning. The intentions begin to bloom as a rose. And eventually, each petal will tell the truth. I heard each petal will whisper the truth. So you let time pass. You're like, you know what? Let me just see what this is. Let me not be so hasty, okay? Let me check it out a little bit. Or a lot of it, I'm not sure. I think in the beginning maybe it was a little bit because you were just in the moment, but then it was like, hold on a minute, wait a second, okay? I feel like that is where you ended up. Once you got there, it feels like you got tired. You're just like, what is this? This is an imposter. Halt, who goes there? I think they had to, oh, that's when their hands got tied. That's why I heard their hands got tied. Okay. So, someone was attempting to control your energy with their falsified gestures of love because they weren't real. Okay. Initially, they weren't real. I just heard initially. Initially, they weren't real. This was meant to prove some type of point. What is that about? Okay, I have the cards in my hand. I was wondering if I'm going to use them, but I'm not. Spirit is talking to me. Okay. So initially, the love bombing was just to see. It was almost like a test trial. Let me see. Let me just see. Like poking something and let me see if there's a reaction. That's what I'm getting from this energy. Like someone wanted to test your waters, but emotionally. They was trying to see if they could tinker with you. I heard your energy fascinates them. So they were trying to see you in a different form, a different character. They wanted to check your temperature to see what makes you angry. So this person was trying to make you angry on purpose, trying to get a rise out of you purposely to see your reaction, and also to check their own influence on you. Okay. This is someone who likes control. They like to control. It feels narcissistic. And you know, I could feel that from this. Okay. I heard trying to see if you're soft enough. If you're soft enough. Well, you know, if you keep messing with somebody for long enough, you're gonna catch a wild side. You're gonna catch something. That sounds crazy. Not you're gonna catch something. Not like not like a disease and nothing, but you're gonna catch a wave of their energy. Okay. Now their hands are tied. Hands tied. Tell me more about that part. Spiritual jail. Spiritual jail. Hands tied. Handcuffs. Handcuffs. The more they play with you, the deeper they dug a hole for themselves. I heard to prepare and sit for court. To prepare and sit for court. But this is spiritual court. This is not physical court. I mean, maybe some of these individuals are in court as well physically. However, what I'm referring to is spiritual court. Okay. Now their hands are tied. Spiritual court is a mental thing, just so you all know if you don't know how that goes. That's like, it's a karmic cycle. It's a part of a karmic, yeah. It's a part of a karmic cycle. And it's very mental. It hits your brain, okay? And it hits spots that you didn't know was really there. And it tests your mind. It tests your strength, the strength of your mind. And you're basically brought to what you know you've done wrong so that you can address it. So this person's hands are tied because I don't think they know how to do this part. See, they wanted to play with you, but you're spiritual and you're a spiritual being. It feels like you're an earth angel. It feels like you're a high-ranked soul. And when individuals have a high ranking, you know, the ancestors, the tribe in the spiritual realm starts to move. Because it's like I just heard redemption, but then I heard justice. It's justification to make sure that there is a proper like reciprocity, like a giving, like a receiving back energetically, okay? I heard giving and receiving, okay? I'm hearing that it was out of curiosity. Majority of the love bombing. Maybe for some individuals, if this individual does this at times, because they can, it's for other reasons. But for you, it was curiosity. But I kind of feel like yeah, for you, I just want to say it's curiosity because they were trying to see how you will react, how you will respond to such energy, okay? It doesn't have to be with just gifts when it comes to love bombing. It could also just be wordplay. It could also just be wordplay and showing up a certain way, okay? So keep that in mind. This person feels stuck. Their energy is stuck. Their mind is even at like a standstill. It's like there's something that they need to do. They're not sure what it is, and they're trying to figure it out, is what it feels like to me. I just saw someone bound with rope behind their back or around their wrist with their hands behind their back and like duct tape on their mouth. That sounds crazy and it sounds a little horrifying, but that's just what I saw. But I just feel like it's a representation of how this person feels. They feel like there's nothing that they could do with their hands that will create a resolution, okay? And they feel like there's nothing that they can find. Like they're they can't find the words to say to you, or to even speak to God. There's something about them trying to speak, like communicate with spirit, and they feel like they don't know what to say. Okay, tell me more about the love bombing. What was behind that part? Tell me more about that. Oh, it's a tactic. It's a manipulation tactic. This person just get a kick out of it. That's just what it is. This person likes to control, and if they don't feel like they're in control at all times, even if what they're how they use or wield their control is unhealthy, they still want it, and they still will stand strong and put their foot down to have control. But it feels tyrannical, like a tyrant. Okay? Yeah, it feels like a tyrant. It feels like a tyrant energy. And so this works most times for them. I could feel, this is King of Wands. King of Wands energy. And Knight of Wands as well. It's also Emperor energy. It's boss energy. Okay? This person just has some ways, and they're ways that spirit knows needs to be healed, and they know too. They also know. However, this person is so used to toxicity that they just slip right back into it like nothing. They know. They know. They know. But they want to do it. It's not like they don't fight it too hard. Because they want to. Okay? It's just that they did what they do to the karmics to an earth angel. Now that's different. You can't be doing that now, because then you're going to go to spiritual court. Okay, so this is why this person they're in their head trying to figure out what, how, why. Just a bunch of question marks floating around is what I see. They don't even know. They don't even know. They trying to know. They don't know. Now, you know what? I don't even think that you go that hard, like trying to wish bad on anybody. I don't feel like you feel that way. I'm not getting that vibe from you. It feels like your vibe is more disappointed than anything. It feels like disappointment. You feel disappointed. I thought you knew better than this. Okay. I feel like that's your energy. That's what your energy is saying to this person. For some reason, I just saw this grocery store that I haven't gone to in so long, but it has a freezer area and it is so cold back there. And I don't know why that just popped up in my mind. I don't even remember what the grocery store is called. I don't really shop there, but I was there with someone one day and we went into the frozen produce or product area, whatever, and it was cold. Like we walked into the freezer for real, which we kind of did, but then not really. But yeah, it was really cold in there. So this person is stuck, frozen. They are cold. Their heart is cold. They've been living with like a heavy heart. When I think of cold, also I think of frozen, I think of ice. Ice is heavy. Even water can be heavy. Like, when you fill a bucket up of water, is heavy. Ice, a bag of ice, like the big ones, is heavy. This person has been walking around with a heavy heart for years, okay? So the manipulation, it actually, it makes them feel powerful, okay? It gives them a power that they actually feel like they don't have deep down inside. It's a void. So the manipulation is a tactic to fill the void from feeling a sense of like weakness, but it's in the dark. No one will know this but this person. The only way a person is going to know about this darkness within this person is them. Not unless they share it with someone, but it's not likely that they'll share this with anyone, okay? They don't like to feel any weakness. I heard past experiences of survival can cause or ignite narcissism. Ignite it. You know, I just picked up a message that the narcissistic code can be hereditary. And this might sound crazy, but in a way, it could help a person when they know how to use it properly. Because it's a big part of the ego. But it's like the ego on steroids, okay? It's like ego on steroids. However, it is a good trait in business because business is business, right? So this would be somebody that's in business that's thinking like this. It just feels it's a non-committal energy as well. This person is non-committal, okay? So this was like someone who just basically put up the facade like they were ready for a relationship with you, when in all honesty, they really were not. They just put up the front. Maybe they want to they might be the type to go and say, how many numbers? Let me see how many numbers I could get. It feels like real teenage, like hot boy stuff. That's what it feels like. It feels like teenage boys that just figured out that they have something between their legs that they want to explore. Like, it's like that type of energy that this is what I'm feeling. But this is a grown person though that acts like this in the background. And their friends know, but not everybody doesn't know, okay? Family probably knows too. But they don't know, the family doesn't know as much as the friends know. Only close family members know. Okay. Non-committal. They just put up a front like they really about that life with you. Like they really want to be like committed. Okay. That's what I'm getting. Okay. Non-verbal commitment. Okay. So the gestures. See, this is those silent. I heard a silent contract. This is one of those situations where you're with someone, you spend time with them all the time. It's like talking to them, communicating, and you feel like it's bonding, which in a way it is, but it's just one-sided because the other person their intentions are not pure. Okay? So you're talking to the person, you begin to get really deep and engaged into it, right? And the other person, they're just putting you in a position where they need you to be to control you. Love can make people feel weak because love is that strong. It makes you weak to the knees and make you feel a little soft because it's love. Love is vulnerable. Love is real. Love is authentic. Love is pure. So it's innocent. Okay? I just gave love so many different connotations, well, positive connotations. Okay, so when a person or a group is made to be weak, they are easier to control. So this is the hope that this person had for you. It's just that how could you allow someone to control you that they don't really know how to control themselves yet? That doesn't make sense. In the public eye, they may look like they control themselves, right? But in the background, they still have work to do. So they acknowledge it, but they know. But it's like, this is their healing journey, you know? This is their healing journey, and it's one of those things where you would probably feel more bad for the person than angry with them once you realize what's really going on as a healer, because this is like a healer's energy that I'm talking to. I'm talking to a healer. You have a very healing energy, healing, almost said hearing aura. You have a healing aura, but I almost said hearing aura. You can hear people's heart. You can hear people's souls cry. I just heard run that back, and I did this with I heard it. Okay, that was weird. But anyway, you can hear other people's souls cry. So when I say that, I mean just from listening to a person and observing them, you can pick up things, and you're not trying. It's the earth angel power where you could pick up the signals from the heart and the soul on a person, so you could tell when there's something wrong and when there is some spiritual surgery that needs to be done. It's like a spiritual procedure, okay? It needs to be done on a person. So you just look at them and you're like, I see you have more work to do spiritually, you know, and we all do. There's always a little something to do, right? That's how I feel. I feel like we all have a little something somewhere in here. There's always something to improve, work on, learn, add on, whatever it is. Yeah, but this person, this is like an explanation for that void that you felt when eventually you realized that all of the love gestures were empty. There was nothing beyond the surface. It wasn't full. The cup was not full. And you realize that being that you have a cup that runneth over, right? The person that you're dealing with must have that same cup. But not just, it can't just be in one way. And it must be genuine. And whatever happened between the two of you, you recognize that they weren't being completely genuine, and it completely pulled you away, and you knew what was best at that point. So now this person's hands are still tied, and there's something about refusing a call. This person refused a call when it comes to you because it feels like you were brought into their life for a purpose, and they rejected it. They rejected you. They didn't pass the test. They didn't pass this spiritual test that God has placed upon them through you with your earth angel energy, okay? They didn't pass the test. That's why they're in spiritual court. So they could be going through a lot of air energy, a lot of thinking, which is a good thing because that means that they're focusing on healing is what I'm getting. They're working on trying to, okay? What is the advice? This is a lesson of knowledge. This is a lesson of knowing. This is a deep knowing. This is for you to know deeply. Know deeply where these things come from, So you're not surprised when they happen, if they happen, because they're not going to always happen. You know, eventually you cross paths with someone who has healed. They've worked on themselves to a certain extent, to where there's certain things that they're no longer going to do because they understand how it affects others as well as how it affects their spiritual ranking. Okay. Yeah, so this is just a deep knowing message for you to understand so that you don't feel like it's your fault. Many times I'm picking up this energy where you blame yourself if something goes wrong in a relationship. Now, sometimes maybe it could be you. Maybe you do something. I don't know, whatever that is. You call that out, whatever you see within yourself. And that doesn't mean that it can't be worked on and you can't improve it. When you see something that you feel as though you can improve, then improve it. It's fine. However, this situation was out of your control, and Spirit wants to make sure that none of you are doubting yourself and putting someone else's baggage onto your heart, which will in turn make your heart heavy. And then they will have transferred their karmic energy to you, and they would end up feeling lighter. And that's like a destiny swap right there. Energetically, you can't have that. So once you recognize that you are giving in whatever way that is, and if you're not receiving in such a way that is fair, then you know you must make the proper decision to protect yourself as well as your connection with Spirit. I think that's it for this message. I feel like I don't have my charms in front of me. However, I did just see a moon, but it was a crescent moon in my mind. Okay. Moon. Many of these individuals that act in such energy, they actually practice dark magic. They don't know. Many people just have a code of karmic. They have a code of a karmic nature. I mean, we all have that because we all come here to learn. However, some live there and move from there. Everything they do derives from that karmic energy. So they're often stuck in cycles. They're stuck in loops, karmic loops where they're supposed to learn the lesson, but many continue to take the lesson over and over again, and they never graduate spiritually in that area because they end up getting like addicted to the toxicity and to the awe of it all, the glitz and the glam, like, you know, whatever it is. It hooks them. Okay. And so being around people that are under the influence all the time, you know, that's an easy way for spirits to enter their body. And if someone is under the influence and they don't even know how that goes, then that means that they're going to be around a bunch of demons and they don't know. So then they begin to befriend them, and they begin to mix and mingle with them, and they take on their ways. And those are the ways of the dead. However, we're living. So I think that's it. It just said stop. Okay. It was very abrupt. Okay. Just make sure that you surround yourself with those who want to live. Because, you know, in due time, We will move to the next phase, which is death. However, right now we're living. So let's live. Okay? Let's live in our most purest form, because that's the happiest place, honestly. You know, we have been led to believe otherwise. However, the purity within us is our happiest, most peaceful, pleasant place that we could ever be. But hey, maybe that's just my opinion. You do as you please. I'm just the messenger. Everything you do, do it with love, and I'll see you in the next message.